evening. Welcome to Maryville Cares. I'm Amy Kendal, the administrator at Maryville Academy for Family-Based Services, and I am delighted to have our guest here this evening, the Executive Director and CEO of Circle Urban Ministries, Mr. James Borishade. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you all for having me.
Yes, of course. And we are live today on CAN TV, and we're grateful for this partnership as we share information with our community about different services. And today our special guest really is going to talk to us about a special time for you that, I did not realize, but you're having your 50th anniversary.
This is Circle Urban Ministries' 50-year anniversary. 50 years in ministry, 50 years in service to the community of Austin. You got to be doing something right if you're around 50 years.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's been a journey for Circle Urban Ministries. I'll share a little bit about how the ministry got started. We were founded by Dr. Glenn and Lonnie K. Ryan. And imagine, if you will, right after the assassination of Dr. King, people are on the rooftops looking at the Austin community on fire, and decided, we've got to do something about it. We want to really come in and try to bring healing to the community, because there was a lot of racial tension during the time. And so if you talk to Lonnie, she'll tell you we were two hippies. These are two hippies moving to the Austin community. And the thought process was, if your garbage isn't getting picked up, our garbage isn't getting picked up. So we're in this together. And through that, they brought 11 of their friends with them, and they did real communal living. They lived in a couple of homes. They bought groceries together. They drove one car. They pooled their resources, pooled their money together. And after some time, they had enough to purchase the building that we're currently in and start a community center. One of the individuals that they had join them also had the ability, was a doctor, so they started a healthcare facility. Another individual was a lawyer, so they started a legal clinic. Another individual was an educator, so they started a school. And they felt like those were the tenets that every successful neighborhood needed to have. And so those things stand today. And I'm excited to share more as we go on about the partners who have taken those mantles and have run with them, including Maryville.
Well, that's wonderful. And if I can just take a little step back, because it's wonderful that you're talking about those amazing individuals that were there at a very fragile time in our country and were able to respond. And so, but you're here responding. So
Yes.
If you could just tell us a little bit about your background, and you've been here now in this role for how many years?
I've been in this role 8 years now. I started on March 1st, 2016. And it's been a labor of love. I came into the Circle Urban Ministries right out of running the zipline industries. I was the executive director of an organization called the Association for Challenge Course Technology, and it's the organization that wrote the standards for the zipline industry. Wow. I like to tell people the best way to think about it is to imagine the National Association of Realtors for ziplines and challenge courses and ropes courses. And I had done that for 10 years and felt like, okay, I'm at a point in my life now where I really want to focus on my calling. What has God called me to do? And then the opportunity to come and lead an organization like Circle Urban Ministries doesn't come often. And so when I came and visited the campus, I thought, what's happening here is remarkable. And so I joined forces with our great team, our great partners, and have been here for 8 years now.
Yeah, and well, we're just really grateful for our partnership. And why don't we, talk a little bit about the programming that you have, and if we can, maybe share with the audience your location.
So we're located on Washington and Central, on the west side of Chicago in the Austin community. Our address is 118 North Central Avenue, again, right on Washington and Central. And we have a full campus. Now, on that campus, you have several partners, Circle Urban Ministries. You have the Rock of Our Salvation Church, which hosts services on Sundays and Wednesdays, and is also out in the community. Rock of Our Salvation is led by Pastor Robert Louis Stevenson, who is the senior pastor. And then we also have Catalyst Circle Rock School, which is our level 1 CPS charter school. It is a phenomenal school with 520 scholars. Imagine, if you will, 30 people coming together to pour out love day in and day out to scholars on the west side of Chicago and help them get to the next level. That's Catalyst Circle Rock. Catalyst is led by the amazing administrator, Elizabeth Jameson Dunn, and her assistant principal, Mrs. Erica Whitehead. The CEO of Catalyst is Gordon Hannon, but we've got a phenomenal team there. Our next partner is Maryville is one of our partners. You all know Maryville is led by the amazing Sister Kathy Ryan, and she's got a great team on the campus. And Maryville runs St. Josephine Bakita Recovery Home right on the campus at Circle Urban Ministries. That's important because prior to Maryville coming, we had so many ladies, so many women, so many children who it felt like they were just being dropped off at the campus. And with no place to go. Many of them were suffering from substance abuse, drug addiction, and we did not have the resource or the acumen to help them. And so partnering with Maryville has been a godsend for us for that. And the women and children stay on our campus and have full-on wraparound services with the school, the church, Circle Urban Ministries, and our newest partner, Thresholds, which does behavioral health and behavioral services. So it's a full-on campus, and we're looking to expand.
Well, what you've described is really a strong intention on listening to the community and putting things in place to make sure that the kids are safe and that the families know that they have, a community partner to be able to go to get to some of their needs. And
Absolutely.
That's a very powerful experience when we know that our families need so much. We know at Maryville, as we're helping children and families, we're all part of this village. And those things that you've just described really make up a breadth of services that can really tap into some of the needs of the families.
Yes. What we like to say, our goal is to give people an opportunity to thrive. Just giving them the access to opportunities to thrive is what it's all about. We've got people in the community who are extremely gifted, extremely talented, who just need opportunities, who just need resources. And when you talk about communities like Austin, you're really talking about under-resourced communities. You're not talking about I don't like to use the term disadvantage because it's really under-resourced. If we provide them with the same resources and the same opportunities, you see our children and our families day in and day out compete at the highest level.
Yeah, and I think that's where you're really talking about making things fair and equal and being able to be that beacon of allowing those opportunities to happen. And what's really neat as I'm listening to you is that you've talked about the history and the intention from the get-go, and now what it's turning into and where it's at right now. And then you talked a little bit about the future. I mean, there's some newer ideas coming up.
Absolutely. So we're in an age now where everything is about being a creative. There are people who really have talent and gifts to create new things, but need the opportunity to create. And so we've created a creative arts center. Wow. On the campus. We have the K. Ryan Center for the Arts, who is led by Rashida Graham Washington. The K. Ryan Center for the Arts is really a place where artists, singers, songwriters, musicians, people who are actors, actresses, come together and have a space to create what the Lord has put on their heart. That is something that when I was growing up actually saved my life. I had a teacher, Mr. Strike, in 7th and 8th grade, who said to me, and let me back up. I was one of those children, when you walk into the classroom, you see the kid's desk sitting right next to the teacher's. Yeah, that was my desk.
That was yours.
That was my desk 4th grade all the way through 7th grade. And what Mr. Strike said is he heard me one day playing the piano in the auditorium. I had snuck out of class and went to play the piano in the auditorium, and he heard me. And he said, hey, listen, what if I told you there's a music studio in this school? And I'm thinking, I've been in every classroom in this school, there's no music studio. I said, I have a music studio at home, and I can bring my equipment and you can use it in a classroom. But the only caveat is you got to get your homework done every day, and you've got to finish your classwork, and whatever time you have left, I'll let you go to the music studio. So what I decided to do is do the homework, do the classwork the day before, so that when I came to his class, I had the entire class period. And we started thinking, what if other kids had the same opportunity? Because what it did for me is it helped me move from a C and D student to an A-B student, because I had something that there was purpose behind why I was doing my education. And so we've created that with not just the K. Ryan Center for the Arts, but Circle has a program called our Urban Music Initiative. And there we have 5 music studios right there on the campus for children to come, utilize, create whatever their heart desires within some parameters, but create things that really glorify the neighborhood. It speaks to positivity, and what we're seeing kids do is they can't wait to get the opportunity to come in and sit down and write and create. And so that's where we think the future is. If you look online now, the majority of the people are creatives.
Well, and can I just say, I was blessed to see a performance there. I believe it was 2 years ago. It was on a Friday evening, and that's a real diamond in the rough right there. And just in terms of possibilities, like you said, and in fact, I still have on my refrigerator, they were, I can't remember the name of the show, but I have the bookmark. It was with a butterfly. And it was an amazing performance with kids and adults. And I still have it sitting on my refrigerator because it was just a really cool bookmark.
You may have come to one of our plays.
Yeah, it was a play.
Yes.
And what struck me about that was, first of all, just the facility itself. It, really allows for someone to say, okay, they're serious about this, and this is a safe, beautiful place, and what can we do here?
Absolutely.
And so we had a couple of our other Maryville staff come, and it was a wonderful night, and that's just great, because we know kids through learning, learn, particularly because of the pandemic, really focusing on movement. Kids need to move their body therapeutically, just in terms of some traumas and things that, we can talk about things.
Absolutely.
But kids want to move anyway. But that's just, drama is a very powerful way to express yourself.
It is. We had kids. We did so Circle Urban Ministry partnered with Trina Page. She is a phenomenal film director and writer and playwright, screenwriter, movie writer. And she came in and she worked with children, and brought a play called, I think the one you saw was My Cousin Cinderella. Now that play there was a young lady who was a star of the My Cousin Cinderella play, and it was to see young people on stage absolutely using their gift and having a ball doing it is such a sight to see. We have another one coming up July 27th. It's the remake of the My Cousin Cinderella play, because there was so much fanfare around the play that it had to be done again. And so Trina's going to be back at the K. Ryan Center July 27th this year. And so I think tickets are on sale. We'll if you reach out to people, we'll send you a link.
Well, I was just going to say, we'll do it towards the end here too, but why don't you give them your website? So
our website address, so there's several website addresses, but our website address is circleurban.org. The KCA's website is kryancenter.org and kcachicago.org. And there you'll find all of the upcoming plays, all of the upcoming shows, and ticket information. And so it's a phenomenal facility. Yeah. It seats almost 1,000 people. and it seats 1,000 people comfortably.
Yeah.
And there's no bad seat in the facility.
Yeah.
There's no bad seat. And the acoustical treatment is second to none.
Yeah, no, I think that's one example of, the good work that you're doing. And, maybe we can dig in a little bit in terms of your youth program and your outreach program.
So our youth program spans K through 8, and we call it Circle for Success. It's run by a phenomenal leader. Her name is Kim Melinda. She used to run the Milton Brunson Boys and Girls Club, which was at the Reverend Milton Brunson School in the Austin community. And we wanted to give her an opportunity to expand her horizon and really take our youth program, revamp it, and make it something that kids really wanted to come to. And so now we've got students who don't want to go home at the end of the day. It's sad but a beauty to see all at the same time when a parent comes to pick up their child and the child say, "Please, why are you here so early?" And so we after school we do homework help. We provide snack for our students. We provide music, dance, and drama. There's chapel. There's a host of things that are age appropriate for our kids. And then we also have our summer camp that's coming up. It's coming up in the first week of July. It's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful place to be with children. And what's most important about what we do in the after school program is we have staff, we have team members who genuinely care, who when they look at the scholars, they see themselves. And so we work with everyone where they are, because we've all been in the situation. We've all been in a place where we wanted someone either to love us, we wanted someone to show us that we meant something to them. We wanted someone to hear us. And so in our after school program, it's a place where children feel heard. It's a place where they feel seen. It's a place where they enjoy and they get an opportunity to build, to create, to have a good time. And so sometimes I go down into the after school program and sit and talk with our kids, and it is amazing the conversations you will hear from children. It's amazing. And so kudos to our team at Circle Urban Ministries. Kudos to our C4S staff. You guys are doing an amazing job. I wouldn't be sitting here if you don't do what you do.
Well, what you've just described is the ability to create an environment where kids feel safe. And when they feel safe, then they feel like they can begin to trust the people who are around them.
Yes.
And just like you described, they don't really want to go home. And listening to you, I'm also thinking about what you just described about when you were little and what you said about that teacher.
That is true.
And how impactful that was for your life. And we know that really it can just take one person who sees that in you, our gifts, and then, is able to build that and allow us to do good for others.
Absolutely. I hadn't thought about it that way. So we're a ministry. And as a ministry, one would think that we're always beating kids with the Bible, basically putting the Bible. But our approach is we believe in earning the right to be heard. And so living the life, sharing love with our scholars, and then letting them approach you about your faith and letting them approach you about, what makes you, Mr. James, why are you always smiling? Or Miss Kim, you're always so kind. I've watched, so this is a funny story. We have a ping pong table where the kids play ping pong. And every now and then everybody wants to challenge the executive director. Right. And so I thought that I was really good at ping pong because my dad played ping pong and won trophies for playing ping pong and grew up with a ping pong table at home. Well, I watched Miss Kim in an anointing like I had never seen before. So we played with the kids, and then she said, "Mr. James, why don't we play?" I'll never forget. I'm playing her in ping pong. The walkie-talkie's on her hip going off. She's got a walkie-talkie and an earpiece so she can hear. And a child came to her and wanted to give her a hug and just talk to her. She's having a conversation with the child. The walkie-talkie's going off and playing ping pong and winning.
What a story that is.
and winning. And she never lets me live it down. And what I saw in that moment was how attached the scholars were to her, because she literally gives them a safe, there's no judgment and it's all safe. And so I watch kids come to her office to sit with her, to talk with her, to really just take the energy that to be under the light that she shines. And so that's a beautiful thing to watch. And you really can't teach that. That's a gift.
Well, it is, and it also is an example of the values of the school and the philosophy of how children need to be seen. Because at the end of the day, you know, that really does make a difference to how children understand that somebody does believe in me, or, you know, my family believes in me, and then that, because we're all going to experience a lot of different things in our life, and knowing that you have somebody who can be a good support to you, like Kim, like you've described, can really nurture. And it also allows them to understand when they move on to high school, or when they move on to college, or they move on to a job, finding those wonderful people that's going to keep pulling those good things.
Absolutely. We at Circle Urban Ministries have been fortunate enough to have that at every level of working with our children, from kindergarten all the way up through our 8th grade. Our kindergarten and primary grade teacher, Miss Stannard, has been with us over 20 plus years. And when I tell you, we've got children who started with us in kindergarten who now work with, who are now employees of Circle Urban Ministries. And they were able to stay with us because of the foundation that they got in our kindergarten program from Mrs. Stannard. It's an amazing thing to watch. That's a person who is literally operating in a God-given gift that she has. And so it's amazing to watch that. Next, we have a gentleman, I rarely talk about him, but I'm going to. He doesn't even know that I pay this much attention. His name is Jamal. Mr. Jamal, the way he works with our children is phenomenal. Right now, he has them working on an anime series where they're creating their own world. Wow. Now imagine the excitement in a child's face when they get a chance to create their own world, create their own characters, build their own superpowers. And as they were sharing it, one of the things they shared was, if you have a superpower, you also need to have a weakness. I don't know if the children understand how powerful that is, because it's teaching them to embrace their gifts and also embrace where they're not as strong. And then they are tasked with working with others as they're building the storyline, and they're building the community and building the universe together. And so it's phenomenal to watch, and they come alive as they're doing that. And all that's happening on the corner of Washington and Central.
Well, I just saw you come alive in the last 20 minutes, which you need to. There's a lot of wonderful experiences going on there, and that just really shows the breadth of intention about what all of you are doing. And I do have to say that we really want to congratulate you on your 50th anniversary.
Thank you.
It's very special. And you talked a little bit about the future and how you're going to stay strong with your mission, and then think about what other needs might be out there, and those elements of that you've talked about with the school and the creative arts and the teen program, and the Maryville Substance, our St. Josephine, along with Thresholds. Those elements of support will help elevate to new things.
Absolutely.
And we just have in wrapping this up, can you just tell us that one project that you're
So the big project that we're working on now is, we have kids and families who come to the campus who enjoy the safety of a campus, and then go home to a not so safe, or to an environment that does not feel the same as the campus. And so what we're trying to do now, we have a program called Road to Recovery, where we're building single family homes and units for women and children and families in the community, where we've purchased land, we're building on the land, and we will build it at a certain cost. the market will bear a certain cost, and we will price it below the market so that families can walk into this home with equity in it, thereby helping them build and create and start the process of building generational wealth. And we've got our land now. It's 843 North Laurel. We've got our permits. And we're wrapping up funding to break ground in the next month and a half. And so that is something that is a labor of love of mine, because we at Circle Urban Ministries, we believe that you build it the way you would build it for your own family. And so when we renovated one of our other units, or one of our other properties, we built it and renovated it the way that if I was to live there, I would be comfortable, I would feel good in it. And so that's what we're working on now. It's a labor of love for us. And before we go, I just want to say thank you all for the opportunity to share about Circle Urban Ministries. Sister Kathy, Maryville, I want to thank you and your entire team. Thank you all so much for all you do behind the scenes to help people in the city of Chicago.
Well, right back at you. We appreciate it. And I do want to say, because we're going to be wrapping it up here, but maybe you can share your website again. I want to make sure people have that information.
We're at www.circleurban.org. That's www.circleurban.org. Our phone number is 773-921-1446. That's 773-921-1446. You call us anytime. If we're not there, leave a message. I'm sure Brother Andre or Sister Darielle, one of our team members, will definitely get back with you.
Well, that's terrific. So again, we are so grateful for your time today to visit us and be here with Maryville Cares, and we look forward to seeing you next month. We are always here on the last Monday of the month from 5 to 5:30. So again, thank you so much. Thank you to Circle Urban Ministries for your good care for all the families and children on the west side of the city. And we wish you all a good evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.